My name's Christian. I was diagnosed with HIV in 2003. I've lived with HIV for 17 years. When the doctor revealed that I was HIV positive, I think, there was just this big shock. At that time, I thought, wow, my life has just ended. I was 25. What am I going to do? I'm going to die. In grade school, I actually experienced quite a lot of bullying. I never really had a lot of friends growing up. I think, I realized later on that it was, I was being teased because of homophobia. When I moved to Canada, my experience was, being a newcomer, it wasn't easy. I think what really happened to me and what placed me at risk for HIV was that I really yearned for that connection. I really wanted to meet that other individual who would appreciate me. I noticed there were people talking about barebacking. I didn't really know what that was. There were lingos about partying. I didn't know what that was really. I didn't grow up in a family or a culture that really talked about harm reduction. The lack of information reinforced the types of stigma around sex, around substance use, and I actually internalized all of those, right? I mean, that was kind of misinformed, and I guess if I was able to had some other friends that I would feel comfortable talking to, then maybe they would have said, no, you don't need to be that. When I tested HIV positive, I think I felt shame. I felt shameful as someone who was living with HIV. I internalized all that HIV stigma, and I ended up using substances much more regularly and heavily as a way to cope with my pain. A couple of years after I was diagnosed with HIV, I told my dad that I was HIV positive, and then he said, okay, so, now you're HIV positive, how's your health? I would love you the same way as my son. And I think, that really meant something special to me. I would say my dad actually, did an excellent job. He didn't make it his issue. He was there to just stand by the person. So thank you, Dad. Disclosure can be quite tricky. I feel like it's rare that folks from my community would openly disclose. I think a lot of these people, they don't disclose, not just even at work, is to their families, right? So can you imagine just living with this chronic health condition and just feeling like you can't tell someone who's so close to you, they're your family? I would disclose, I would tell people that I was HIV positive, and I think sometimes the reaction would be just, the conversation would just stop there, or how HIV positive people shouldn't be having sex. This question of, why? Am I, just unlovable? I think through the years, with the support of treatment support group, I've grown to start appreciating myself more and just, developing this sense of self-love. If I was able to gain access to a supportive community, then maybe my experiences would have been different. I thought, okay, I really perhaps want to do something to help others, who may be going through similar experiences, and this is what I do now for my work, and in a way, it's such a big privilege that I get to serve do work supporting the harm reduction community. Canada is experiencing an opioid crisis right now. Within the last couple of years, almost 14,000 Canadians have died due to overdose. What you can do is go to a pharmacy, request for a naloxone kit from the pharmacist. They're free, and carry this with you. So when you do witness an overdose, you can use this to save someone's life.